The neon sign above the dive bar flickered in the still night, its red and blue glow barely illuminating the cracked pavement below. A lone truck rumbled past on the distant highway, but otherwise all was quiet. Inside, the bar was dimly lit, the scent of stale beer and whiskey lingering in the air. The bartender wiped down the counter, glancing up as the door creaked open. A tall man in a black turtleneck and trench coat stepped inside, his piercing gaze scanning the room. He moved with purpose, taking a seat at the bar. There was something about him, something controlled, unreadable. The bartender hesitated before pouring him a drink. Moments later, another stranger arrived. A woman, stylish but out of place, sauntered in. She wore a confident smile, but her eyes carried an unsettling weight. She slid onto a stool, her presence immediately drawing attention. "You look like someone who enjoys a good opportunity," she murmured, her voice smooth as silk. Her fingers, nails painted a deep crimson, lightly brushed against the bartender's arm. "Ever hear of an exclusive club? Something special?" The bartender forced a polite smile, but a cold shiver crept down her spine. Something wasn't right. She glanced at the man who hadn't spoken a word. Yet, when the woman mentioned the club, his expression shifted ever so slightly. A silent understanding passed between them. "Maybe some other time," the bartender said cautiously. The woman's smile didn't falter. "Of course." Then, casually, as if commenting on the weather, she added, "Why don't you step outside for a moment?" The bartender's grip tightened around the rag in her hand. Her instincts screamed. Before she could respond, the tension was broken. Customers stumbled in, laughing and rowdy. The woman's smile slipped, but just for a second. Then, without another word, she and the man stood and walked out together. The bartender exhaled sharply, shaking off the lingering unease. But when she finally left for the night, her unease returned. Across the street, a black car sat idle, its engine silent. Her heart pounded as she hurried to her own vehicle. As she drove away, she checked her rearview mirror. The car was following her. She turned onto a side street. The car followed. She took another turn. Still there. Her breathing quickened. Then, in a split-second decision, she veered toward the police station. The moment she pulled in, the car peeled away into the night. Days passed. The bartender tried to push away the memory, convincing herself it was just paranoia. Then, late one night, the door creaked open again. The woman was back. The bartender's stomach clenched. She reached for her phone, discreetly texting her boss. The woman sat at the bar, folding her hands neatly. "Thought I'd check in on you," she said sweetly, her smile unwavering. Outside, a van idled. The bartender's pulse quickened. She locked the front door. And then, a rattle. From the back entrance, someone was trying to get in. Her hands trembled as she gripped a metal shaker, dialing 911 with the other. The handle of the back door jiggled violently. Every second stretched, the silence between the rattles suffocating. Then, headlights. The bartender's boss pulled into the lot. The rattling stopped. The van sped away. The bartender stood frozen, still clutching the shaker as her boss rushed inside. Relief flooded her, but deep inside, she knew this wasn't over.